Hey everyone, this week we're going to be capturing images of animals at a wildlife park. So we can't always go on safari to Africa, but we can do the next best thing. And this week I've come to Yorkshire Wildlife Park to get some shots of the animals here. And what I'm going to try and do is make it look like they're actually in the wild. So I'm going to be going around sharing some tips on how you can do that. In terms of gear, what I brought is the D500. It's a little bit quicker than my Z7, it's got a faster burst rate. It's not really got much benefit in terms of image quality. It does have a little bit of perceived extra reach because it's an ASPC camera. However, the Z7's got a 45 megapixel sensor and you can crop in. But what it does mean is that I'm going to get a larger image in my viewfinder, so it's easier to compose and I don't have to do as much editing in post later. So one of the first things you can do is zoom in nice and close. So you're going to need a big telephoto lens for that. Like I said, I've got the Sigma 150 to 600mm. That means I can get in nice and close. I've got none of the background with the people or things like that. So mainly just shots of the water at the moment with the seals in there. And it would be nice to have a really expensive prime lens. They've got great maximum wide apertures, great for low light, really high quality. But I actually think a lens like this one, which is 150 to 600mm, is a bit of a benefit when you're in a wildlife park like this, because sometimes you don't need that really massive reach of 600mm, and having the zoom range from 150 to 600 is a bit of a benefit. Also think about angles, try looking up, so you've just got the sky as your backdrop, or if you've got animals in trees you can point your camera upwards, looking at the animals from underneath, so you've just got the trees and the sky. I've just got some good shots over there of the red panda which was up in the tree, and I think those look quite natural, so hopefully they're good when I get them back on the computer later. Best not to do what I did and come on a really busy day. If possible, come on a weekday when it's much quieter and you'll be able to get much better shots of the animals without people in the way. Also, overcast days tend to be better because you don't get harsh shadows on the animals when you're taking your shots. But I'm having to work around what I can, and yeah, it's a busy, very sunny day, but hopefully getting some decent shots anyway. Even though my lens is really heavy, I have been managing to hold it handheld today, but I've also brought along a monopod, which is one of the legs from my Winston, three-legged thing Winston tripod. And I've got a Sarui head on there, and monopods just work a little bit better than tripods in a busy place like this, because you can work your way through the crowds and not take up too much space. Inevitably, in zoos and wildlife parks, you get fences and wire mesh, and that can ruin photos. But you can mitigate that to some extent by getting close to the fence or mesh with your lens, as close as you can get, and then using selective focusing, so a single point of focus, and focus through the fencing on your subject, and that'll more or less blur out the fence that's next to your lens. It might just reduce the contrast of your image a little bit and create like a hazy blur, but you can always adjust that later in Lightroom. Where possible, get down to eye level with the animals. In this area there's lots of wallabies and there are no high fences, and the wallabies are quite tame, not scared of people, so you can really get down low and get down to the eye level of the animal. One of the best times to get shots of the animals is at feeding times, as they're more active right after they've been fed. And don't forget, you can use a wide aperture, as wide as you can, zoom in as far as you can, and that'll help to blur out your background, create that bokeh, and it'll make your shot look more natural, and it'll get rid of all of the distracting elements of the wildlife park in the background. Okay, so I'm back at the car now. It's been a great day today at Yorkshire Wildlife Park, and I think I've got some good shots, and you'll have seen those throughout the video. There's a few more just to show you, so I'll put those on screen now. And that's about it for another video, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, just click down here below on the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed and you'd like to do so, as I always say, you can click down here on the big red button or over here on my face, and that way you'll keep up to date with everything I'm doing each and every week. There's a new video every Sunday morning at 10 AM UK time. So I hope you'll join me next week for the next one, and until then, thanks a lot for watching everyone, and bye for now.